You might not have noticed the new ways fast fashion brands are trying to trick you. Zara, H&M, and many more are employing similar strategies to make you buy mediocre at best products. This is Australia here. Let's take a look at fast fashion's latest controversy and their new way of helping you buy marketing-infused garbage. Okay, so people often incorrectly label all affordable clothing as fast fashion. Uniqlo, for example, not fast fashion. It's a specific business model pioneered by Bieber in the 60s and used to great effect by Zara from the 70s. They would see what luxury and couture brands were showing on runways, redesign it, manufacture it in higher quantity and lower quality, and bring it to market, often before the original luxury version. It gave the growing middle classes far greater access to on-trend clothing. There's a great video from Understitch on the history of Zara, which goes into more detail on this topic. Today, many fashion retailers operate in a similar space, like H&M, Boohoo, Forever 21, RIP, PrettyLittleThing, Fashion Nova, you can probably think of some more. And you probably also know what happens next in this story. Fast fashion used to be the quick, cheap way of getting on-trend clothes, until something quicker and cheaper came along. Primarily, Shein and Temu developed the ultra-fast model, shortening concept to product as much as possible whilst using huge amounts of data to restock designs and predict what people would like, dropping quality to a minimum in order to undercut pretty much every other brand. If fast fashion was a race to the bottom, Shein just TNT'd their way to bedrock. Zara, H&M, etc. simply cannot compete on the price and speed they built their brands on. Other cultural issues have hit fast fashion as of late. Accusations of greenwashing and other labor violations has put people off a bit. The huge rise in second-hand shopping has given clothing fans a viable alternative to affordable clothing, often at a better quality than fast fashion. Or at least cheaper if you're buying second-hand fast fashion items. And as we discussed last video, many people are moving towards timeless and classic styles, avoiding this season's hot item, which is kind of what the fast fashion business model is based on. These brands needed to reinvent. If not, you end up like Forever 21, who filed for bankruptcy in March this year, or ASOS, who have seen declining sales and an absolutely plummeting stock price. Now, what's super funny is that this reinvention is basically fast fashion brands pretending that they're not. Let's take a look at Zara, because they've basically written the book on new ways to convince people to buy fast fashion, and would love to hear what you think if you picked anything up from them recently. I've not bought Zara in quite some time. Their photography is much more high fashion style. You'll see products presented in a much more conceptual way. It's very lookbook friendly. There's now a Zara pre-owned section on their website. Clearly they're aware of how much Vinted, etc. have taken their business and they want it back, providing their own marketplace where they can take a cut every time somebody sells Zara stuff. This is extra clever because it also implies three crucial things. One, that there's a second-hand market for Zara. It's an investment. It will hold its value. You can sell it rather than throwing it away. Two, Zara clothing is good enough to survive long term. And three, Zara clothing isn't just fast fashion. It's cool enough that people will want to buy and wear it years down the line. And a bonus number four, Zara cares about sustainability because they're promoting this more sustainable way of shopping. This homepage also describes a SS25 collection in the same way a much smaller or a luxury brand who only do one seasonal release might do. This is literally a retailer who made their money with constant new product releases, and indeed the SS25 collection is just a very small part of the total huge number of products that they've released this year. They're almost hiding the total amount of styles that they're releasing. Every single thing on this website is designed to position Zara as something it is not. They want their customers to feel like they are buying quality, they're buying timeless, they're buying curated, they're buying better. Timeless is the exact word Zara Home have used on multiple occasions. They seem to have built the perfect mask. Let's see what happens when you take that off. Let's investigate some of the actual clothing that Zara has put out recently. I know this looks like a professional setup, it's just a tower of shoeboxes. First, Zara Athletics, cringe name. Fast fashion athleisure is nothing new, but to me this is a clear response to the recent popularity of running as fashion and these more high-end brands. I'm thinking Satisfy in particular. Look at this running graphic tee. This is like fake community gear promoting some kind of club that doesn't exist. The value in tees like this is because of their link to the community, because of something tangible. Zara is like, nah, you can just buy it and pretend to be part of something something. It's poser gear. It gives you the look not just without the cost, but without the effort of being part of a running club. They also recently collaborated with Japanese outdoor fashion brand Antwon. I'm an Antwon fan myself. On the one hand, I am happy to see this look become more accessible so more people can get involved with the brand. However, functionality and fabric performance is a core part of the brand, and ignoring that in favor of making cheaper clothes en masse sat badly with most fans. But again, it's Zara getting the credentials of performance fashion and enthusiast level taste without the physical products themselves needing to reflect that. There was even a full ski wear range covered in a great video by Katie Robinson. Zara glamorizes a sport and lifestyle associated with wealth, selling you the look cheaper than luxury ski brands. It seems like this was really popular, but judging by people's complaints online, it didn't hold up as actual ski wear, with things like lack of material breathability and weak fabric being cited as issues. Lack of mechanical ventilation and bad base layer materials, I think, are also problems here.
Fashionable ski girlies. We're not buying Zara ski clothing and actually skiing in it. It is soaked.
It sells you the look of the old money skier, so long as you're not actually hitting the slopes. The only people I've seen skiing in clothing like this have been novices. Also ironic that brands like Zara are part of the reason why skiing is becoming increasingly inaccessible thanks to its huge environmental impact. Collectively, Zara is desperate to show you that it is not fast fashion. It's not a Shein or Temu competitor. It's this mid-market, affordable luxury space for classier, more discerning shoppers. It's even raising prices. Some of this stuff is really quite expensive. With fast fashion brands like Zara charging more and more, and luxury fashion prices only getting more expensive, you're probably looking to save money on clothing where you can. Coupet is designed to do exactly that and is this video's paid sponsor. It's a free extension for all your favorite browsers designed to save money while shopping online with automatic coupon testing, cashback rewards, and price comparison. It's got over 6 million weekly desktop users. Now I'm one of them, so let's buy something and save some money. Install yourself the extension, register an account, and we're ready to start auto-applying coupons. This is supported by over 3 million retailers, so you probably shop at somewhere that works. Can't argue with 15% off. Thanks, money-saving reindeer. Y3 Japan looking very tempting, especially with a bit of a discount. Let me know if I should cop. Coupet also supports cashback from over 76,000 retailers, including a bunch I've shopped at like End, Foot Patrol, and Farfetch. Might even save on my Disney Plus resub so I can watch Andor Season 2 when it comes out. These rewards take about 15 days to process, which is pretty quick, and you can put them straight in your PayPal account so you can save it wisely, or just buy more cool stuff. And thirdly, while you're shopping online, Coupet displays price info from other retailers to ensure you're always being smart. I've nearly finished Demon's Soul, so I know this is going to be a solid pickup. You're basically getting free money for using something like this. What are you waiting for? Check out Coupet via the link in the description. Treat yourself to something nice. You deserve it. And thanks to Coupet for being paid sponsors of the video. I know this has been the Zara roasting sesh. Other brands are doing exactly the same thing, and it's by looking at these we can spot the wider industry trend. H&M has kind of the same site design as Zara now, including SS25 launching at a specific date and time like a hyped drop from a smaller brand. Ooh, small little-known fashion boutique H&M. This hides the fact, of course, that their new in section has over 500 products. They too have a running section and a ski wear section. Note it's always these aspirational activities associated with luxury and wealth which are popping up now. Fast fashion brands frequently are using golf and tennis, for example. There's never any football, basketball, skateboarding. Those are for poor people, and you're an old money, quiet, luxury, timeless fashion buyer, right? Now go buy some $15 fake country club merch. I saved one of the greatest and most blatant fast fashion rebrands to last. For non-UK people, I'll give you the lore. Boohoo and PrettyLittleThing are cheap online fast fashion retailers owned by the same company and similar to Fashion Nova. You go there to buy a dress you're gonna wear once. Debenhams was a department store founded in 1778, 2 years after the USA, that's crazy. They had locations all across the country but went out of business in 2021. Boohoo bought the Debenhams brand, but not the stores, so that in March they could rebrand themselves as Debenhams Group. They literally bought heritage, and no doubt will start leveraging that to talk about the proud British history of the Debenhams name. It is literally skin deep. They're still pumping out products by the hundred, hoping no one will realize. PrettyLittleThing itself has completely flipped its branding from a cheap, tacky, girly to timeless, classic, elegant. These ads are all over London Underground right now, portraying the brand as luxury and not fast fashion. Their new logos are heritage-inspired script, their new color a vintage burgundy. As if it wasn't founded in 2012. They've pinned our story to their Instagram where they talk about legacy, authority, credibility. Their copywriter was working overtime on this one because I can't think of many less authoritative and credible retailers than this one. And can someone explain what playing in culture means? This absolute word salad is working so hard to try and convince you that this is the exact opposite of what they're doing, whilst pumping out huge numbers of cheap polyester clothes. Ao Ojo did a great video talking about this in more detail. I'll link to it in the description.
They are calling this a grey oversized wool look trench coat. What the hell is a wool look? It's either wool or it's not. Wool look is the dumbest thing I've ever read in 2025.
Most buyers are pretty alienated from the production of clothing and don't really know what good quality looks like. That is by design. It's better for business if we don't really know what expensive or high quality clothing looks like. But it means the marketing of a product is extremely important in controlling people's perceptions. The clothing doesn't need to be better, but it does need to seem better. For that reason, fast fashion brands will probably get away with doing this. They're selling a pretty complete narrative here, and the marketing is convincing. These brands do appear to be cooler, to look more premium. In a sense, this whole rebrand trend is nothing new for fast fashion. It is their business model to put out clothing that seems to be popular. It's just extra awkward that right now what's popular is heritage, classics, timelessness. All of these things are kind of the antithesis to fast fashion. The result is these deceptive feeling switch-ups, which seem like a joke to anyone who remembers the previous fast fashion identity. Of course, I would have much preferred them to approach these ideas with much greater authenticity, actually trying to focus on making a better product, maybe making them in smaller quantities. I would also advocate for buying less clothing better rather than fast fashion hauls, and shopping vintage, which is a great way of getting more affordable, high quality clothing. Unfortunately, from a business perspective, fast fashion retailers probably have to do this to survive. Shein and Temu will outcompete them being the cheapest and the fastest. Luxury, heritage, and independent brands will outcompete them on authenticity, values, and quality. The only thing they have left is the creation of this mid-market where they can sell luxury, timeless fashion vibes at a somewhat affordable price without the expense of better product. For me, the most annoying thing is where they're selling those performance products that are probably not going to hold up to heavy use. Like getting duped into buying ski wear that doesn't seem appropriate for actual skiing really sucks. And you could certainly make the argument that buying fast fashion to LARP as old money is cringe. Fashion and class dynamics is a very interesting topic. But that's all on the fast fashion rebrand. Would love to know what you think about it. Zara techwear review when?